Hi, welcome back. My name is Lisa from Beauty from Inside and Out. And if it's your first time here, I hope you kind of can stick around and keep coming back every single week. But today we're going to be talking about beginning application with Seint. Let me ask you a question. What do you think of cream? Does your mind kind of go back to maybe what your mom or your grandmother was wearing? Because cream makeup has changed a lot. And I want to show you how simple it can be, how your skin can look beautiful with cream makeup when your skin is maturing. You won't regret this. You will not regret this video. Keep watching if this sounds intriguing to you. Your makeup isn't looking like it used to and you need to switch it up. This is for you.
If you're here, then you woke up today. And that is a blessing. Don't take that for granted. Don't waste it.
Okay, guys, you can tell I have like my eyes done basically because I want to kind of just get right to the nitty-gritty about makeup. It's all about the foundation and the colors that you're putting on your face, right? And as I had said at the beginning of this, is that I want my skin to look as healthy and vibrant as possible. My skin, guys, I'm getting older and I know that I can't do anything about what's happening structurally to my face, what my skin is looking. Set apart skincare, okay? Let's just talk makeup, because if maybe you don't even know where to start, cream is something that I think will give you that glow that maybe powdered and liquids may dry down your face, which is something that we're trying to fight against anyways, right? So let me keep things really simple. Kind of how to get started with Seint cream makeup. You can have, I'm gonna pull my hair back just a smidge here because it starts to get in my way. But you can have something as large as this palette. I gotta clean my palette out, where it has like 2 levels, you know, for your cream, and I use one for my shadows. But you can keep things really simple and start with something a little smaller. Now, my first level here in this palette, I have like my shadows. You can see how my shadows are all in here because I keep them different and separate from my creams, so that in case I happen to drop this, it doesn't become a googly mess. But this level I have open, right? So let's fill this up. When I think of 4 things when I think of putting on my makeup. I think warming up my face. I think for me personally, and it could be different for you, I think trying to target some of my discoloring in my face for whatever reason that may be. It could be melasma, it could be hyperpigmentation, whatever is distracting on your face and you want to target. Those are the 2 things that I focus on. So warming up my face, removing any kind of distraction, and then some color, right? The 4th one can be a toss-up, honestly, in my opinion. Whether you love to contour, whether you love to lip line, I mean, then that 4th one can be that or beyond, right? But let's go ahead and start. I, again, just have like my shadow done. So the first thing that I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna remove it from my bigger palette and put it into this small one so that you can just see the process basically of what I do. I tend to first, it depends on the day, right? Because honestly, I think that what keeps kind of putting on our makeup, if we're doing it, and we have been doing it for a number of years, is to kind of keep it fun, right? Kind of keep it where you're just like, I want to try something new today, right? Not changing your whole look, but you can still try something new. So sometimes I will warm up my face first with bronzer, and then I target some of those areas of my distraction. And then sometimes I go in with the distractions first. It all depends on like how I'm feeling that day. And that's kind of how we should really approach, right? Like our makeup. We're the ones who decide what's going to be best for us. But what I do is I go ahead and I take my first color and I place it in my palette. So this is my color corrector, which I want to go ahead and target some of these areas of distraction for me personally. So I will take just a dab of my cream, because guys, you really do not need a whole lot of makeup with this cream. It is so pigmented and picks up so much. So how you're putting this makeup on is gonna make the difference for you on how you're gonna feel afterwards. Now, this first step again is that color corrector, and I'm just targeting some of the areas again that are just my distraction. Okay, sometimes it could be I'm using more than others, and then sometimes I can just really take a little bit more time, because believe it or not, like when it comes to hyperpigmentation, there are times, especially in the summertime, where they will be more noticeable. They'll just be darker because that's what's just happening. We're exposed more to the sun, and that's typically where a lot of the hyperpigmentation comes from. At least in my case, that's what it is. So I want to take care of that by targeting that. So I go in and try to even out all of these areas that I am wanting to, and my shadow will look like when I do my eyes first before I do my makeup, it always seems like it's so more obvious until I get my makeup on. But this is what I do, guys. I just even out all of these areas that I am finding like distracting. And basically once I am done with this part is when I can go in with like my main foundation, if I choose to put it on some of those other areas that I didn't use that color corrector. So let me show you how I do that. So now I'm going in with that second shade and I am putting it into my palette. So if you didn't know, Seint's tins are magnetic and you're able to clip them onto your palette, interchange them, which I think is genius because again, what did I say earlier, right? Our moods change and sometimes we're wanting to do our makeup one way and another. And so you're able to go ahead and fix it and build it how you want. So the next shade would be my main foundation. So I'm just gonna go in with the areas that I didn't use that, that color corrector. Because my issue, and it's usually the case for like me having the discoloration, is like on my cheeks or like underneath my nose, on my nose. So now the second shade that I go on so that I don't layer makeup on top of makeup. And again, the whole key is to keep your face looking like your skin, right? We're never going to go ahead and just totally disappear everything that's on our faces. And I don't think we should, in my opinion. Our faces are beautiful without the makeup, right? We're just enhancing what's already there. So I am taking this color, which is my main foundation, and I am just placing it on those areas that I didn't even put on that color corrector. Okay, same thing like underneath. And these other shades that I get to color match you with. Well, not these shades, but shades that will be perfect for you when and if you want to color match. So the next one is the bronzer. And this is when it starts to kind of come together, guys. for me at least, because once I start to see that my face is warming up and I feel like then there's even less that I need to address. So I take my bronzer, and there are many different shades depending on your personal pigmentation. Whoop. And I like to just warm up my neck. And also on the very top of my cheeks. So sometimes I can go in, if I want to, with a blush of a different color, but this right here, guys, is kind of like, if you'd even wanted to just keep it right here with your color corrector, your main foundation, and then a smidge of the bronzer, you can call it a day. Look how already complete my face looks, right? In comparison from when I first started with just my eye makeup on. Now, let's put that one inside the palette, right? So here's the third one. I'm almost out of that shade. And then the next one, guys, would be your color of choice for your makeup. So I'm gonna go with a really pretty kind of like orangey color. I think it's so pretty for this time of year. It's just kind of like those spring and summer shades, right? And I go ahead and just place that like on the top of my cheek and back and up to give my cheeks a little bit of that lift. Same thing on this side into like the temple. So that is just for a smidge of color if I wanted to not leave it with just the bronzer. But look, guys, how, and then add that to your palette. So here are your 4 basic, and you can keep it just like that, to do your beginner's makeup. I feel like I have all the coverage that I want and need. I have my foundation on, my color corrector, my bronzer to warm up, and then a smidge of like that color. And of course, you have still room to grow in your palette for like 2 more shades. And this is the ones that are like more bonus. You can definitely add like a shimmer, like not a shimmer, but a highlight, okay? Which is differently named with Seint, but it is the highlight color that you can just add a little bit of that bouncy, reflection kind of like look when the sun hits you. Beautiful to add to that. And for that final color on your palette, you can go ahead and place a darker one to fill in your brows, to do a liner, to line your lips, a myriad of things. Now, this is why this palette is great to start off with when it comes to beginning with Seint, because it gives you room. If all you want to do is use this as all of your cream, you can still use that top layer to go ahead and add other shades of blush and lip choices for your look, or split it up and have one level for your eyeshadow look with really like room to grow. Okay, I keep usually 4. Sometimes I'll use 2. Sometimes I can use all 4 with my towel cleaner, but you can see that there is definitely room to add more shadows to your palette. And guys, this is truly, for me, when I started with Seint, was so practical and so easy to understand as far as putting the makeup on. Just like with anything else, you practice, and if you pick it up as you continue to just use it more and more, and then is your typical kind of like learning curve of doing kind of anything, right? So beginning with Seint, I think, is keeping it simple and once you kind of like get the rhythm of what you know your basics are, it's so easy then to continue to add more. So guys, question for you. Is your makeup truly that easy to apply? Is it this compacted without having to put and use all these different bottles and different pieces of components to throw into a makeup bag? How much time does it save you? I tell you that if you give consideration to using cream makeup for your mature skin and just understanding how simplistic your makeup application is going to be, you will not regret then giving Seint a try. Okay guys, I am keeping it here this time, and we'll catch you back next week. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. I'll catch you next week.